Today we're diving into the fascinating story of a monopoly in the red-hot competitive market of eyewear, focusing on a company that most people have never heard of, but chances are, if you wore sunglasses, they are likely made by that company. And that company is Luxottica. It's a story of vertical integration, brand acquisition, and how one company came to dominate an entire industry. Let's get started. Welcome to Business Model Hackers, where we explore business strategy and management tools through case studies. Each week, we examine real-world applications of concepts and frameworks, using case studies from research and our team's engagements. To protect confidentiality, some details may be altered, but the lessons remain authentic. Get ready to uncover the insights behind influential business decisions. Hey Sam, to begin, can you kind of give us an overview of Luxottica and its position in the eyewear market?
Absolutely. Luxottica is an Italian eyewear company that has become the world's largest manufacturer, retailer of glasses and lenses. It was founded in 1961 by Leonardo Del Vecchio. Luxottica has grown into a true powerhouse in the industry. What's remarkable about the company is that the scope of its operation, they basically design, manufacture, distribute, and retail eyewear. They own many of the world's most popular eyewear brands, probably some you didn't think about, like Ray-Ban, Oakley, and Persol. So they also make glasses for designer brands like Chanel. So every time you grab a Chanel or Prada and Versace, you're actually buying from Luxottica. In addition, I think Luxottica owns major retail chains like LensCrafters, Pearl Vision, and Sunglass Hut. In 2018, Luxottica also merged with Essilor. So they went into, the lens manufacturer to form Essilor Luxottica, which further consolidated their market position. Estimates suggest that Luxottica holds around 80% market share of branded frames and sunglasses globally. Okay, this dominance gives them significant power over pricing, brand options, and retail distribution.
Wow, 80%. That's an impressive reach. How did Luxottica manage to achieve such dominance in the eyewear industry?
Yeah, I would attribute that to a whole bunch of key strategies that, we can summarize them into the first one being vertical integration. Luxottica controls every aspect of the eyewear business, from design, manufacturing, to distribution and retail. So this gives them unprecedented control on the supply chain and pricing. The second one is basically brand acquisition. So over the years, Luxottica had acquired many popular eyewear brands, like the purchase of Ray-Ban in 1999, Oakley in 2007. These were particularly significant moves. Then you also have the licensing agreements, right? Luxottica had secured licensing deal with major fashion houses like Chanel and Versace and the likes. They basically have license to produce their eyewear lines, capitalizing on appeal for luxury brands. The other thing is the retail expansion, right? By acquiring retail chains, so Luxottica ensures prime shelf space for its products and direct access to consumers. I think, one of the things that are also significant is definitely innovation and quality. So despite its size, I think Luxottica has managed to maintain a reputation for quality and innovation in design and manufacturing. Lastly, I think their global reach, right? They have successfully expanded internationally, adapting to different markets while maintaining consistent brand identities. These strategies have allowed Luxottica to grow from a small workshop in Italy to a global eyewear giant.
Hey, if you've enjoyed this episode so far, hit that subscribe button and bell icon so you never miss episodes like this one. And if you find value in this content, please give it a like, share it with others. Your support encourages us to keep crafting these informative videos. So it really sounds like Luxottica has created a near monopoly in the eyewear industry. How has that affected the market and the consumers?
Right. Their dominance had definitely significant impact on the eyewear market. From pricing power, as an example, with control over so much of the supply chain, they have considerable influence over pricing in the industry. Okay, this has led to concerns about inflated prices for consumers. The other thing is, I think, brand homogenization, right? While Luxottica maintains distinct brand identities, there are concerns about reduced diversity in design and innovation across the industry. The other thing is, I think, retail dominance, right? So their ownership of major retail chains means they control how competing brands are displayed and sold in their stores. The other thing is, I think, market entry barriers. So the company scale and vertical integration make it challenging for new players to enter the market and compete effectively. And I think lastly, consumer choice, right? So while consumers have many brand options, you may not realize that all of these options are the same brand. All the brands are owned by the same manufacturer, which is the same company, Luxottica. But it's worth noting that the company scale has also brought some benefits like consistent quality standards and the resources to invest in innovation and new technologies.
So I have to imagine that there's been some antitrust concerns and regulatory challenges given their dominant position, correct?
Indeed. Their strategy has attracted regulatory scrutiny in various jurisdictions. In 2018, when Luxottica merged with Essilor, the deal faced significant regulatory review in a bunch of countries because of concerns about market concentration, right? So the European Commission, for instance, conducted an in-depth investigation before approving the merger. They ultimately allowed it, right? But they concluded that the merger entity would still face sufficient competition. And in the US, right? The Federal Trade Commission also reviewed the merger closely before allowing it to proceed. But some critics argue that regulators haven't done enough to address Luxottica's market power. There have also been legal challenges. For example, in 2001, the company faced an antitrust lawsuit in the US over its acquisition of Sunglass Hut, which was eventually settled. I think despite these challenges, the company has so far managed to maintain its dominant position while staying within regulatory boundaries.
Things have changed in recent years, like online retailers and the direct-to-consumer brands. We see commercials for these things all the time. How has Luxottica responded to these emerging challenges?
Yeah, you gotta give it to them. The company has been proactive in addressing these challenges. They significantly invested in e-commerce, so they expanded their online presence both through their own websites and partnerships with e-commerce platforms. They actually adopted an omni-channel strategy, right? They leveraged its physical retail network to offer services like virtual try-ons and in-store pickup for online orders. They also have digital brand experiences, so they're using technology to create unique brand experiences like the Ray-Ban's virtual mirror. Their acquisition partnership strategy, through their acquisition and partnership strategy, Luxottica acquired some online retailers and partnered with tech companies to stay competitive. For example, they worked on Meta, right, with Ray-Ban stories and introduced glasses that integrate dual cameras for capturing photos and videos, open ear speakers for audio, and microphones for calls and voice commands. They focus primarily on premium segments to combat cheaper online alternatives. They're innovating products. They're investing in new product categories like smart glasses to stay ahead in market trends. So while these strategies have helped Luxottica maintain its position, the rise of direct-to-consumer brands and online retailers continue to present a challenge for their business model.
Well, thank you, Sam, for those insights. I appreciate it. Luxottica's story is a fascinating example of how a company can come to dominate an entire industry through strategic acquisitions, vertical integration. It also raises important questions about market concentration and consumer choice. As the eyewear industry continues to evolve, it will be interesting to see how Luxottica adapts to maintain its position. If you're keen to dive deeper into this topic we discussed today, head over to businessmodelhackers.com. There you can subscribe and gain access to comprehensive resources and insights that are specifically tailored to this subject. It's a treasure trove for those looking to expand their knowledge and skills, so check it out for sure. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to bringing you more insights in our next episode.